74 years ago, Fred Korner was in Europe fighting in the Battle of the Bulge. A mortar shell hit near his foxhole. The blast knocked Mr. Korner out of World War II.
He told my mother, the first words out of his mouth were, "My friend Marshall Masterson was killed, and I was there, and it hurt." But he never spoke about it again. And for 74 years, my father kept that in his mind and in his heart.
Fred Korner passed away last week, and just over the last year, he told his daughter Brenda about his friend Marshall, who died right next to him in Belgium in 1945.
And he started opening up and telling me the story of how he and Marshall were very good friends.
Marshall Masterson grew up in Soddy. Doris Jenkins never got the chance to meet her Uncle Marshall, but she heard stories about him her entire life.
We knew he died at the Battle of the Bulge, but we never knew how.
About 3 months ago, Doris was researching her family history online, and she found this letter that Brenda had written that told the story of how Marshall Masterson was killed. Frederick and Marshall were sharing a foxhole.
They had to get on their stomachs and crawl to a stream to get fresh water. And they were taking turns doing that. And for some reason, Marshall, it was my dad's turn, and Marshall said, "Cap, I'll go this time, and you stay back, and you go the next time."
Mr. Korner told Brenda that Marshall was only 2 feet away when they were hit.
She said that he would cry when he would think about Marshall or try to talk about Marshall, that he couldn't hardly bring it out. You know, he was so burdened by Marshall. And, you know, Marshall basically died in his place.
This is the first Memorial Day that Doris and the rest of her family actually knows what happened to their uncle. And she says that she feels like she's gained a member of the family now that she's gotten to know Brenda. Brenda wears this bracelet every day to remind herself of the friend that meant so much to her father. It has the place and the date where Marshall Masterson was killed serving our country. There's also a short message for Marshall at the bottom.
Dad has not forgotten you. What an honor. And everyone asks her about that bracelet, and she gets a chance to tell everyone about Marshall.
Now, Marshall Masterson and Fred Korner fought together in the Battle of Elsenborn Ridge and the Battle of the Bulge. That was the only area where the Germans were stopped during the initial offensive of the battle.